So one of the important things to understand is something called the cross product. And it's kind of weird because it's kind of like the dot product, but what you have in the end is not a scalar, it's going to be a vector. And there's this simple rule or kind of trick to figuring it out. It's called the right-hand rule. And the right-hand rule is really easy. So you take your right hand and you kind of try and make where your index finger and your middle finger are like 90 degrees apart from each other. And your thumb is 90 degrees apart from both of them. And you kind of use your index finger to represent the first vector. And then you use your middle finger to represent the second vector. And then your thumb will be pointing in the direction of the cross product. And so this is a really simple trick. It's mostly just used to understand the direction of the cross product. And for Physics 121, that's really all you need to know. You don't really need to know how to fully calculate the dot or the cross product. And you'll learn that in linear algebra. But it's very helpful in understanding because it helps us understand how some forces relate to each other, especially when you get to Physics 2, when you start messing around with electronics. So here I have a problem. And so it's saying, on a piece of paper, the first vector is pointing to the right of the page. And the second vector is pointing like into the page. So then the question is, what would be the cross product of these two vectors? So what do you think it would be?
Would it be pointing down?
I don't think so, because
like
so
if
the first
thumb wants
vector.
to go, okay.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So the first vector is like your index finger, right? And that's pointing right. And then your middle finger would be. Actually, I can show you on the camera. So it's like there. So it would be pointing right like this, right? And then your middle finger is pointing into the page, right? So if we're looking down on the page, we're seeing our thumb is pointing upwards.
I had that completely flipped.
Oh, no problems. There is something called the left-hand rule, which you should use for like if you have a negative value. But I would not recommend doing it. It just makes everything way more confusing.
Okay.
But yeah. Yeah, it would be upwards.
Okay.